my very first year of 4-H, I did woodworking and I did a step stool and I still have it. We still use it. And then I made a saddle rack one last 2 years ago.
Whoa.
And then last year I made like a bench table thing. It's really cute. It's like rusticy and I don't know. I use it with our old barn wood. And the judge went crazy. He was like, "Oh my goodness," because it was like old wood. It's like 30 years old or whatever. And my
No,
brother,
it's like 100 years old.
well, my brother had like written on it so you could see like his pen, like he had done it in like red marker and we had just put like a clear like seal over it, so it kind of darkened the wood because it kind of like cleaned it, I guess.
Yeah.
But you could still see like all of his doodling on it, and like the saw marks were different and stuff. So he was like, "Oh my goodness, like so cool."
Where do you find a family of communities connected by the storied Mississippi River, where young explorers and dreamers, investors and entrepreneurs thrive? Where can you connect with real people living and creating in a place that's as genuine as it is quirky? QC, that's where.
Welcome to QC That's Where. I'm Katrina, your host, and today I've got Emma Steiger and Mary Steiger, mother and daughter duo, who Emma is part of the Rural Go-Getters, which is a faction of the 4-H Club in Rock Island County. And so, hi Emma, hi Mary, how are you doing today?
We're doing good.
We're good, thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us on QC That's Where. We are in the summer of 2022 and fair time is among us. So I thought it would be fun to chat about your involvement in the Rock Island County Fair coming up. So if you wouldn't mind, tell me a little bit about what the Rural Go-Getters are and what you do.
We are 4-H club, and we have meetings and we talk about the news that's going on within the fair and stuff. And then we have talks and we talk about projects and upcoming events. And then we will adjourn. And you can get scholarships through 4-H and do all sorts of stuff.
There's a lot of like public speaking opportunities for the kids to do. They can tour around the state and go to different things. She sometimes will have competitions like at the University of Illinois and all sorts of things. So just to kind of get them out and in the state, and it's a good way for the kids to find out what they may want to do with their lives.
Sure, to kind of explore lots of different areas.
Yeah.
So Emma, you're 13, and how long have you been involved in this club?
How many years has it been?
Well, officially since she's been 9. She can be an actual 4-H member when you're 9 years old. But before that, I think when you're 6 or so, you can be a clover bud member. And that's just like a projects on a smaller level that the kids can do. And because a lot of times the younger siblings go with the older siblings to meetings and they want to be involved. So the clover buds is that way. So she's really been at 4-H meetings since birth, basically.
Oh my gosh, so this is a family thing.
Yeah.
So her brother has aged out of 4-H now. So yeah, she was at meetings because he was at meetings. So yeah.
What do you like about it?
You get to make friends and stuff, meet new people. I mean, we had a lot of new kids in 4-H this year and they're all really nice. So we have a really great 4-H leader. She comes and she watches us and she's really supportive. So I don't know, I like it. It's special, I guess.
So when fair time comes around, what is your involvement? You've got some horses, you've got a dog. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so I will I have some general projects. So I'm going to do like flower arranging, and I'm going to do welding and woodworking and scrapbook. And then I will take my dog and I'll show my dog on a day. and then I'll show my horse for the rest of the week.
What's your horse's name?
Coaches.
Geez, that's
Like
so
the
cute.
Indian chief. Yeah.
Oh. So what is showing a horse all involved? Do you do like tricks, or is it just simply like, you know, the actual grooming, or that what is it for?
So there is fun classes, and you can do like barrel racing in there and pole bending and like flag race, all of this different stuff, ride a 5-buck. Those are just like fun classes, so those are usually like at the end of the fair. And then I'm pretty sure, right? They're usually at the end.
Yeah.
And then you can do like Western pleasure, and it tends to be slower and it's kind of more collected. I don't know, there's supposed to be like a pleasure to ride, I guess. Like it's supposed to look easy. Like you get on the horse, you're supposed to make it like the horse is doing everything and they look nice and their head is down and all of this stuff. And then there's English classes. So a different saddle, different attire, so different everything in that when you like post at the trot and stuff. And then there's like ranch classes, which is Western pleasure, but it's fast. Like it's faster, so they don't have to be quite as collected and stuff. And then we have like trail classes. So they'll set up obstacles, or they'll set up like poles, and we have to back through the poles and go through gates and stuff. So, or we'll have to do a halter and showmanship, which halter is based on the horse. So your horse needs to look really nice for halter. And then they still need to look nice for showmanship, but it's more based like you're judged on the person. So it'll be like how we're cueing the horse, how we're transitioning into stuff. So you get judged on everything pretty much.
I don't know about you, but this sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a ton of work.
Yeah, you have to make sure they're washed, and then we have to clip their manes and do bridle paths, which is like behind their ears, so that way their halter isn't getting tangled and stuff. We have to clip up their legs so that way they don't have like feathers and stuff, to make sure everything is clean. Like everything is clean. We have to even clean our tack and make sure that nothing is breaking. And yeah, a lot of us usually have a couple like Western saddles and like backup straps and small things that break easily. We usually have a lot of extra tack.
So her horse shows usually start around 8 o'clock in the morning because it's usually so hot. So she starts feeding in the barn usually between 6 and 7 in the morning during fair.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's got to get him fed and the stalls cleaned out and then everything ready to go. And then she has to look ready for a show, all done up, blinged up, hair done, everything. So it's a lot of work. These kids put in a lot of hours. Yeah. And it starts months before, the year before. Like she's got to start getting his coat conditioned and get him trained so that she can ride well and all that stuff. Yeah, and that's just horses. Hogs do the same thing, cows, all these animals. These kids are working year round to get them ready for the shows.
So you're working year round. I mean, it's summer right now, you're off school, but I'm imagining that you're putting this work and effort and time in with your horse and your animals even during the school year, like during the winter.
Yeah.
So
Oh, for sure.
what does that look like when you're, it's just a normal school week and you're also trying to prepare for months down the road? What do you do? What's your schedule like?
So so I don't know. We started homeschooling, so it's all online. So I pretty much can do it whenever I want. So there's not a specific schedule, which is it's good and bad. Because it's good because it's really flexible, but it's bad because it's easy to not do. Anyway, besides the point. So I usually wake up between like 8 and 9, which is kind of late. I try to get up by 7:30 and like out there, and I start chores. And then like once it gets to like spring and summer, like when it's starting to get hot in the mornings, we actually don't feed in the morning. We just put them out to graze because it's cooler and they'll eat more. And then we'll put them in like once it gets hotter, and we can give them like a flake of hay or two, and then we'll feed them at night. So and then like
And then in the
and
winter months, she's in her barn, she ties him to the stall and she works on grooming him and getting him to stand nice, and because we don't have an indoor arena. So
interaction with the
yeah,
horse.
just any interaction. So she'll get her schoolwork done, and then in the afternoon she goes out and just does some basic kind of groundwork with him. When our son had hogs, he would get up before school and feed them, and then usually by the hogs in the early spring, around February or so, just because they grow so much faster and they're ready for market earlier.
Mhm.
And so the hogs have a very specific, like, you have to weigh out their feed, and you feed them different amounts of protein at different times so that they grow properly, all that stuff. And then after school, we would get out and walk the pigs to get them used to being around humans and walking nicely and showing off how pretty the hogs are even. So any species you walk, goats you walk, cows you walk, pigs you walk, all of it, you got to teach them how to walk. So, and then for her dog, we start practices in April, and we start training together in April, to teach them basic obedience. And then they continue to level up and the classes get harder. So now like her and her dog are all on off leash exercises. So
Oh,
her
cool.
dog has to walk with her in the heel position, like without a leash and things like that. So yeah, it's a lot of work. It gives the kids a job at home full time if
It
they're in
does.
4-H.
It sounds like, yeah, it sounds like a full-time job, and it sounds like it's a lot of cool education that you're, hands-on, and you can get a taste of if this is something that you want to continue on. I imagine, as an adult, if you want to do, agriculture, farming, is that something that's in your future?
Yeah, I want to do something with animals for sure. Well, at least with horses. So I have a couple different options that I'm thinking about. Like my dream would be to have like a super nice barn and maybe like boarding there. We could do like some like lessons, and then it could also be like a wedding venue and stuff. So it would be like really nice. And then but then I gotta think of like how I could afford that. So I'm kind of thinking of like different jobs, and then having them like on the side kind of. I would like to study like in college. I would like to go for whatever I'm going for, and then do like a class in like farm management or like business or marketing or something, so that way it would help me like know how to run a business and like keep it going and stuff. So yeah, I think they're in my future. I definitely, even if that doesn't work, I want to have animals for sure.
So these kids, like, they get every aspect of it. The veterinarian comes out when the animals get sick, and
Yeah.
then you get a bill for that vet call. And you have to give them the supplements that they need to look their best, and you have a bill for those supplements. So they're realizing that it's not just we go show up and ride a horse for a half hour and leave.
Right.
It's a commitment that they need to be able to market their business, and they need to know how to manage it and how to pay for it. And they get to see, well, maybe I'd rather explore and work with the feed industry, with nutrition, animal nutrition, or veterinary science. There's so many different options that these kids get to just kind of dabble in throughout their
Mhm.
4-H career. It's really neat.
Especially with general projects, because like this year I'm doing welding, so I'll learn how to weld and I'll never forget that. Like I'll know how to weld for future stuff. And then like woodworking, you know, you learn how to use different equipment and put stuff together. And then like my brother, he did veterinary science. So he actually went and he toured with our vets and he like got to do a C-section on a cat and stuff.
Oh my
And
gosh.
like so he learned all of this stuff. He really, really thought about being a vet and then he was like, no, I'm gonna do something else instead because he was like, I'm just gonna get too attached to the animals and the
Yeah.
clients. So, but yeah, the experiences, even with general projects, like it can be a board of pictures, but you have to learn all the stuff about it. So, yeah.
So the general projects you will be like, so your welding, your woodworking, your scrapbooking, are these things you've already been working on that you'll be presenting soon?
Well, technically, yes, you could. You can start them in September,
We're
but
supposed to.
but
We always kind of forget about it until like the month of, and then we never know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it's always kind of like the week of, the week before, a couple days before we're supposed to show them.
but it's really honestly kind of like the tradition of 4-H.
Yeah.
My
All
husband
of
and
my
I were,
friends did
yeah,
that.
all of her friends. My husband and I were both in 4-H, and it's like 2 weeks before you're getting all your projects done. It's
Yeah.
part of the fun. And
That's
usually the
life
night
though,
before,
right?
most 4-H families. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it teaches them to cram. So
Really.
yeah, so general projects are shown on Saturday, the
I have no idea.
16th or 17th. So we start in the morning and we show the general projects, and then we do the dog show, and then the official fair starts Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
My head is spinning with everything you have to tackle in that time and before. Wow. So what, I don't want to make you give away your secrets or anything, but like, can you talk about what your projects might be that you'll be presenting?
Yeah, so welding, I'm planning on doing a boot rack. I may not get that done.
Okay.
So if I don't get that done, it'll be something else.
No
But
pressure.
I'm planning on doing a boot rack as of right now. Yeah.
Cool.
And then woodworking, I was gonna do just basically like, I don't know how
it's like
you
a dog bed.
yeah, like a frame to put a dog bed in
Yeah.
because it would be cute and I don't know. So and then floral arrangement, I have a pot that's like gray, so I'll find some flowers. I was thinking yellow. Like this one we're gonna try to do like all of the same color kind of and do like different like variations of the color. So I'm thinking yellow or pink or purple. I think that those would be kind of cute.
Beautiful. Yes.
So with the gray. And then scrapbooking, the plan right now is to do it on all of our trips to Texas. So yeah, so I'll get our Cricut out and design stickers and stuff and cut paper and pictures and use a ton of glue. So yeah.
And her brother is the one who's teaching her how to weld.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
he's helping her with the welding project. So otherwise you find people like in your community who know how to help you out and to do it. And that's always fun too. You know, our son went over to a guy that my husband worked with, and he's helped him with woodworking a time or two. And you just get to know different people. And it's a really neat thing. Everyone's usually willing to help kids with 4-H projects and share their knowledge. So that's always fun too.
And there's so much, like in this community in the Quad Cities specifically, there's so many different walks of life and so much talent, so that you know, whatever piece of the 4-H club you find yourself interested in, yeah, you probably can easily find a mentor or somebody that's willing to lend a couple hours and help you out with these projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
This is cool because when you get done with the projects, the boot rack, I mean, and the dog bed, like you could probably use that for your own dog, or you could keep it, or you could sell it, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, one year for welding, my brother made a fire pit out of like horseshoes and stuff and like old T-posts, and we use it all the time. And then I made my very first year of 4-H. I did woodworking and I did a step stool and I still have it. We still use it. And then I made a saddle rack last 2 years ago.
Whoa.
And then last year I made like a bench table thing. It's really cute. It's like rusticy and I don't know. I used it with our old barn wood. And the judge went crazy. He was like, "Oh my goodness," because it was like old wood. It's like 30 years old or whatever. And my
No,
brother,
it's like 100 years old.
well, my brother had like written on it so you could see like his pen, like he had done it in like red marker and we had just put like a clear like seal over it. So it kind of darkened the wood because it kind of like cleaned it, I guess.
Yeah.
But you could still see like all of his doodling on it and like the saw marks were different and stuff. So he was like, "Oh my goodness, like so cool." But obviously it was like rusticy, so it wasn't perfect. So yeah, but
And the general projects, even those, so they go Saturday morning and there's different tables set up and the judges are, the 4-H office tries to find like experts in those fields from around the Quad Cities. And then they go and they judge one-on-one and the judge will ask her questions about her project and how she did it. So she, can get experience talking to an adult in an interview style, basically.
Whoa.
So.
And then you get real-time feedback one-on-one that's specific
Yeah.
to what you're presenting. That's so cool.
Right.
yeah.
And she has no idea who the judge is going to be. It's, some of them are the same from year to year and some of them are different. And, it's a whole interview experience really for them in a very relaxed, fun atmosphere.
Yeah.
And
How
then
many?
for general projects, they can also be eligible for state fair too. So then any one of her general projects can go on to the Illinois State Fair if they get chosen.
Has that been something that's happened with you or anyone in your family?
Mhm.
Yeah. My brother went down for a lot of stuff. He went down with his welding project. I have gotten state fair on I think every single one of my sewing projects I've done. So like one year I did a pillowcase and I made a pillow and then did I do something else with sewing? I'm not sure. I got it with a scrapbook and which was on my dog Gracie. And then I got it on my step stool. Did I get it on my saddle rack?
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
And
We usually do pretty well. Last year I didn't get anything, but like sometimes like even if they like they don't they can't they have like a certain number of things they can give out. So like each station has like only a couple state fair ribbons that they can give out. So it kind of just depends on like whose was better or like even if like the judge last year for woodworking, he really liked mine, but it wasn't anything super fancy. It was reclaimed wood, it wasn't like completely level because the boards aren't straight. So like but then there was like a really nice cabinet that someone had made. It was like really nice white and stuff. So obviously he couldn't give me the ribbon because it was going to go to the other project.
Mhm.
So it just kind of depends on what other projects are there or how many they're able to give out. So, but yeah, we usually end up going down there every year with a project.
Yeah.
hmm
And then the animals for horses, sheep, goats, pigs, I think poultry too. You can sign up to take your animals down there. Just, hey, I want to take my horse. Dogs are the only species that you still have to earn your way to state fair. So they start out with a score of 200 and they can get up to 30 points deducted. They have to have 170 points to qualify for state fair. So, and then the dog state fair is in August in Dixon. It's not at Springfield anymore. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So dogs are a little different too. You got to put in a little bit more time sometimes with dogs because you know, they're just an animal like everything else. And but with dogs too, they can go to different county fairs. So she's already been to Henry County Fair with her dog and got a score there.
Qualifying score.
Yeah, so she's already qualified for state fair with her dog. So
You can kind
So
of move
that's
in
a
and out
little
of your own
different.
county too.
yeah, just because depending on the day, what's going around, like around the show with dogs, because they get so distracted. We do let them travel from different fairs within our county. So like Rock Island, well, our district, maybe it is, I don't know. Rock Island has Mercer, Henry, Stark, and Rock Island County is all of our district, maybe.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
So like my horse, we actually talked about it, but we had family coming in, so we didn't have time to fit it in. But I could have taken my horse to Henry County Fair and shown him, but it could have only been for the open show. So we would have like pulled in that day and we would have just, camped out at the trailer and showed him just right out of the trailer. But we just didn't have time. But you can take your horse or any other animals. Like I have friends who take their pigs to fairs and they show in open shows and stuff. So
And also within the county, there are spin clubs. So they have like a fishing spin club and an archery spin club.
shooting.
They have a shooting spin club. They have some robotics spin clubs, things like that. So these are little groups that they go and they have competitions that aren't during the county fair. But the 4-H members can be involved in that too. So she's involved in horse bowl, which they practice from like January to March, and it's intense. It's most of the veterinarians we know have gone through horse bowl because and they said that their whole first year they just aced it because of what they found out during horse bowl. She has a book of 420 pages of solid front and back questions about anything and everything you would want to know about horses.
And then I have like a total of like 5 books, and I have a whole one on halter, a whole one on breeding. We learn the whole periodic table. We learn like we were putting like molecule things together and like making genes, like figuring out like what color you'll get. It's really confusing. I couldn't tell you how to do it right now, but yeah, like we have a lot of things, and then we do stations, which is like hippology, and
so for their competitions, they test them 3 different ways. They have a written test, they have a verbal test competition, kind of like Jeopardy, and then they have these stations, which is they see a picture and have to match up the correct answer to it. So they're
in under a minute.
So they're exercising all their different like parts of their brain.
Yeah.
And they have a regional competition, and then they have to earn their way to go to state with that too. And it says that they can be an individual and team. So like she qualified for individual this year, and then her horse bull team won.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they won the horse bull competition at the state level this year. So yeah. And for juniors, you guys did. So it's amazing. It's a lot of knowledge that she's picking up right there.
Seriously.
We'll learn like all of the bones of the horse, and we'll learn the whole entire digestive system and like all of the teeth. So like all of the major organs we learn about and stuff. And
it's an entire science curriculum. It's just amazing what it is. Yeah. So that's really cool.
I feel like you could shoot right into veterinary school going with all this knowledge. Like you're ready to go.
Yeah, for sure you could.
We even have a whole section there on judging. So like we'll learn how to judge horses and stuff, and like Blackhawk East. I would like to go to that college at least for a year and then transfer or just stay there. But at Blackhawk East, they actually held like a judging seminar thing, and I went for like 2 days, and we got to learn how to judge and stuff. And then we had a judging competition, and we went to Blackhawk East again, and we got to judge horses. And to qualify for state, that was like the regional competition of judging, which was really fun because, you know, a lot of times we're judging off of a video and it's kind of harder, you
Yeah.
know, different details get lost and stuff. But
So, and for her with actual horse projects, to learn what the judges are looking for just makes her a better rider also. So it all works together, and it's all amazing. But yeah, it's and also horses and humans are very similar. So like when you say she could go right into veterinarian, my mom was a nurse, and my mom could answer questions right along with her because it was
Oh,
the digestive system, the bone, the skeletal system were so similar that it crosses over pretty easily. So it's not just limited to animals, what these
Mhm.
kids are learning.
of course. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's so crazy. And so having participated in dozens of, fairs, general projects showing all your work, thinking back, do you have like a favorite moment or a highlight or something that was really like stands out to you?
I don't know. Hanging out with friends, like even like when you're showing, like all of us, like especially during fun classes, we all just kind of sit on the fence. Like obviously we're on our horses, but we just
Yeah.
stand by the fence and like everyone cheers everyone on, and like I don't know, we all go to each other's campers and we just hang out because it's so hot. We all help each other out. So I guess like the friendships you build are like the best part, I guess. You meet a lot of really great people there. You get a lot of experience.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My favorite memory was the first year she took her horse, and we'd been going to the fair. Like I said, my husband and I were both in 4-H. We've been there for years, and a lot of the people are generational people that we knew. But the first year she took her horse, the Sunday
2019.
before the fair started, 2019. My mom ended up in the hospital. We thought we were going to lose her that week, so I was not at the fair at all. And my husband had no idea what to do with horses. We'd shown hogs, we'd shown dogs, but we'd never done horses. So the superintendent, one of the 4-H leaders and our friend, she's like, just send Aaron and Emma, we'll take care of them. And the entire horse barn made sure she was in the right clothes. They did her hair, they did her makeup, helped her clip her horse, they helped her clean her horse, they helped her know what patterns to do. They took her as a community and just loved on her all week. And when my husband needed to be with me, they kept her. And it was something that we'll never be able to repay back. It meant so much to our family. And the memories and the relationships that she got just that year were amazing. And it's a barn full of girls, and you don't get that all the time with young teenage girls. And it's a neat community. It's really cool. They just truly want to help people.
So you can have the friendly competition and the,
Yeah.
friendly rivalries, but when it all comes down to it, like you are the same family,
Yeah, we are definitely a 4-H family. Like a lot of times I get invited to our horse superintendent's 4-H group clubs things.
So her 4-H group, they all have horses. And in
Yeah.
our 4-H group, we're mostly like farm animals,
Okay.
hogs and cows. Emma's one of the only ones with horses. So when they have horse events, they'll email us or tag us on Facebook and invite Emma to their 4-H group for their event.
Yeah.
So everyone just tries to include everyone else. I mean,
Yeah.
the ribbons are great, and all the parents want their kids to get the ribbon and be be recognized for the work they put in.
Yes.
But I think most of the parents there also realize that the ribbons eventually go into the closet.
Mm.
And it's how you end up as a human being after the ribbons are gone. That's what we want our kids to learn. And that's what I think the community there really is right now. It's just, we want to raise good humans, and this is a great, easy way to do it, and the kids have fun. So yeah, it's
We
a,
all look out for each other
Yep.
and stuff. We all sit there and we hang out until our work is done, and then usually like at least once in the week we'll all pretty much, as like the whole horse barn, well, not the whole horse barn, but like the us really close ones will all go up to the midway and we'll do a couple rides, and then we'll just go back to a person's camper and we'll chill and just have fun. It's a really good time.
From the outside
Yeah,
looking
it's
in,
fun.
like from my perspective, before talking to you two, I didn't know much about 4-H Club. I knew that it's, you know, a good extracurricular activity that like has been adopted nationwide and offers great programs. But now hearing about all the work and all of the like aspects of it and what you learn and take away, it's a lifestyle. And
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
sounds like you really get a great foundation from it.
Yeah.
You do. And it's all free. I mean, it's all free. So like the horse superintendent now, they are having horse clinics.
Mhm.
Well, yeah,
They're
usually
clinics.
once
They're
a
like
week they go
classes.
practice, which is free. All the dog training is free. There was a goat spin club to teach you how to take care of your
I
goats
don't
and
know
what
if
to
that
do.
was free.
I'm pretty sure that was free, or very like maybe $5. It's all like,
Affordable.
it's yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
Projects get expensive, but that's just how nice you want it to be, honestly.
the general projects.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all the learning, all the curriculum, all the interaction with the adults, you know, it's just free and invaluable, really.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's really neat. It's one of the coolest things ever. And the more you get involved, the better it is.
Mhm.
Like their motto is learn by doing, and the more you do and the more you'll learn. It's really cool.
Right. The more
The
you
more
put in, the more
people
you
you
get out.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more people you know too. Like with Horse Bowl, I met like 3 different people who were at like the state fair level of Horse Bowl, and like, I mean, I'll always remember their faces. So I don't know, it's neat. And uh like, you know, all of the kids that are even older than us that I've seen at our fair, like I saw a couple of them at Black Hawk East, and it's kind of like I don't know them, but like I know their faces and stuff, and it's like kind of neat because like you usually can generalize who they were with and stuff. So
But as you get older too, like one year, my son showed one of his welding projects, and then the general projects were over, and we had known the judge. He was in the hog barn with us for a long time. Anyway, they called and said, "Hey, would your son be willing to come work for us?" And you know, my son's now worked for him for 3 years on and off on their farm, and they let him drive. He just recently got a CDL, and they let him drive their truck. Like
Awesome.
the connections that these kids make with different professionals around the QC because of this, and really around the state, the people that they meet is also very valuable to them as well. You know, veterinarians who are like, wow, that's a good quality kid, and you
Yeah.
know, they get a lot of good connections that they don't necessarily have to go apply at McDonald's or Hy-Vee when they want a job. They have a lot of different options because they've met different people, and these professionals have seen their work ethic and their work quality. And if they've got livestock, usually for a whole week. And you know, adults, we do watch the kids during the week to see what they're made of, you know, and
Yeah.
the kids are just doing their thing and having fun, and they don't really realize that they're marketing themselves even at a young age.
And then you
It's
just
neat. It's a
watch
neat
your
experience.
And you can just kind of, you've walked your way into a potential career or, field of
Yep.
interest. It's cool to
Yeah,
hear,
for
Emma,
sure.
the ambitions you have about Blackhawk East. And then, like you said, you may not personally know somebody that you come across, but like you already got that connection. So when you do end up there someday, you probably will have already had connections with most of the people you encounter and you just don't even realize it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's a neat part too about how she can go to the different campuses and just look at them, see if she likes the campus, see if she likes the professors that are there. And it's a really laid back way for her to look at the state's colleges. So yeah, it's fun.
Earlier, Emma, you mentioned your 4-H leader and the support that is it a she or a he? I didn't catch.
It's a she. Her name is
So
Pat Edmondson.
okay, so what are the qualities that she offers your group and like what is supportive about her?
Like she's super encouraging. Like she's very, very encouraging, like especially with all of the general projects. Like she really she was bringing her friends to the fair and she was walking around the barn and she was showing them like all of our projects like as a group and stuff. And then like she gives us a lot of like I don't know, encouragement. Like
she gets excited for
yes, she gets very excited for us and
generally
she wants us to do well and succeed and stuff.
And so she'll come and watch Emma show for a couple hours. She'll watch her show her horse. And a lot of times if, someone's showing their cow, or she goes to all the different shows and she's just encouraging. And most of the 4-H leaders do.
Yeah.
They go to the different shows when their kids are showing. So it's neat.
Yeah.
So for people who aren't involved already or are kind of interested, what's the best way for, people to come and see what you guys are doing or get involved themselves?
So anytime during the fair, people can come. Even Saturday morning, they can come watch general projects being shown. A lot of the 4-H shows are on Thursday, but these kids are showing all week long. So usually in the mornings is when the livestock shows are. And if you want to, see how things are done, maybe that'd be a good time to come down and look. In the evening, afternoon, most of the animals are on break. And a lot of times the kids are on break too, cooling off from their morning show.
Yeah.
To get involved with 4-H, the fair is just full of leaders during the week, but otherwise you can call the local extension office and they give you all the information. Enrollment starts in the fall, so September is when the 4-H year begins. And they can also ask the kids and they'll say, hey, go talk to my mom, or there's my 4-H leader, or whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone's usually really excited. Another cool thing about the fair that some people may not know is any adult or child, whether you're in 4-H or not, can take stuff to the county fair. You just have to go to the Rock Island County Fair website and they have an open show, and anyone could take chocolate chip cookies or brownies, sewing projects, photography, quilts, all sorts of things that you can take and have judged. And that's on display too. One of the kids' favorite things is to just, when their friends and family come, to take them around and show them their projects or show them their animals. And, this is what we do. This is what I spend my time on. And here they are. It's neat for the kids to do. So.
Well, I want to throw it to, go ahead.
No, I think I'm.
I want to throw it to you both. Here at QC That's Where we have a little tradition to fill in our slogan, QC That's Where blank. So whatever you got, hit me.
It's where families are made. Like we have obviously like the whole 4-H group that kind of adopted me. We're now we're a horse family. So family and lifelong friendships.
I
See,
love
that's
it.
where family or friends become family.
I love it. It's so true. It's so true in 4-H and in every other aspect around the Quad Cities and what people are interested in. And so thank you so much, Mary and Emma. And for those listening, visit quadcities.com. We've got our events calendar so you can find out any county fair, any activity, any event happening in your area. So just visit quadcities.com. And I want to thank you both again for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to QC That's Where, a podcast powered by Visit Quad Cities. Text Visit QC to 38314 for insider events, activities, and updates sent straight to your phone. That's VISITQC, one word, to 38314. Message and data rates may apply.